Hey there, and welcome to Real Brides. This is the podcast where we sit down with recently married brides to talk all things wedding, with real advice from brides who have been there, done that, and want to help you do it better. I'm Rosanna with Shotwell Productions, New Jersey's highest rated photography and videography company. Let's dive in. Hello, today. Welcome to the podcast. We have Jessica and Dave. They got married December 7th of 2019 at Lambertville Station. And again, this is your second marriage. Do you have any advice for your younger selves from your first marriage? If you could go back in time, what would you say to each other?
The number one thing is just be completely direct, open, and honest with yourself about your strengths and about your failures, about the things that you feel you're good at and the things that you struggle with. And don't be afraid to share those directly with your partner. I mean, I tend to be that way with myself. I'm very direct with myself. And I don't like leaving things. Sometimes when things get left up to interpretation, they can be interpreted wrong, and that can lead to badness. So being clear with communication, speaking with empathy, speaking with understanding, but also being honest. It's a fine balance to walk, but I found, especially in my talks with Jess, because we've only been married for a couple of years. We've had a couple struggles here and there, as all couples do, right? When things come up, we discover that each of us deals with our individual struggles in different ways. Sometimes you need to take a step back for a day or two and let people stew and let people think and let people process.
I fully admit that's me because being Latin, I have a temper. And if I were to say what I was feeling in that moment, it would not come out well.
And you can't take it back.
Yeah. So I'll learn patience, I'll let the initial flare pass. And then the next day when I'm feeling more calm, I'll say, yesterday when we were talking about such and such, and your response was that, I'm like, yeah, that really pissed me off. And then I'll be able to say why it pissed me off.
Yeah.
Instead of in that moment flying off the handle, and just losing my damn mind. So it was, less passionate outbursts at this age, and more taking the time to think before you speak. Because as you said, you can't take it back.
Yeah. And I think that's a good lesson. I try to maintain what I like to call wise mind, which is an even balance of emotion and logic. I have my logical side, which is because I'm a very process-driven kind of guy, right? I do IT, I play music. All of it is numbers and process, and you've got to do things, start one to step X, right? So I try to approach it's my troubleshooting brain. That's how I tend to approach things. I try to balance that and not let that get too developed over top of my emotional mind, which is something that obviously emotion and logic have nothing to do with each other. They do not play with each other. They are completely anathema to each other. But a healthy relationship allows for a balance between the two and knowing which one to use when.
That comes with wisdom and,
a lot of practice and
age and experience
and failure.
Yeah. I feel like these are like lessons that you've learned just growing up through hard times.
Yeah.
With relationships or just life. And
failure is a great teaching tool if you're willing to embrace it as such.
Yeah. I really liked what you said earlier when we were talking before all this. It's like be open and direct, mindful and honest.
Yeah. My running joke with my wife is that a lot of people talk about the word respect, right? Respect is a big thing. People talk about having respect in a relationship. I have a pretty hot take in that I don't think respect is a thing.
Ooh.
I don't. I think respect is not a thing on its own. I think respect is a byproduct. Okay. Respect happens because other things happen. You don't give respect. You don't get respect. What you give is you give trust. You give honesty. You give open communication.
Yeah.
You give those things, and that generates respect. But respect doesn't happen without those core things.
Yeah, so it's like stepping stones to respect, right? Like you need to have these foundational things in order to receive or feel
Yep. Trust, honesty, empathy, direct, open communication. That makes respect. So like you don't give respect, but you can give trust. You can give empathy. You can give open communication. You can give those things. And if respect happens out of that, awesome.
I love that. I love that. Thank you guys so much. It's been a pleasure seeing you both. Watching your guys' lives grow together.
Thank you, Rosie.
Literally polar opposites, like you're in a different cloud system than she is.
It's true.
Yeah.
Accurate.
We're like
I
opposite
love-
ends of the spectrum, but
Yeah.
it works.
And I love that you guys are finally going to be able to take your honeymoon years and years later. I am
Can't
so
wait.
happy for you.
Can't wait. Definitely.
It's been a pleasure speaking with you, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Rosie.
Thank you,
Take
Rosie.
care.
This is it for this episode of Real Brides. If you found something helpful, make sure to follow, subscribe, or share it with someone who is planning their I do. We have new episodes every week packed with more real talk from real brides. No filters, just facts. Thanks for listening and happy planning.